Hey, good evening, Bruin fans, and welcome to another edition of Something Bruin with Coach Cook and Rashad. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited about tonight's JV game and Friday football. Outside of that,
Yeah. The JV just goes around the corner there. Pewsville to Shoulders Hill to Nansen River Parkway as they go out to Nansen River, and then the varsity team hosts Nansen River there tomorrow.
yes, absolutely. So we're excited about that. It's a very good, well-coached team, and we've done a good job as a staff and players really invested back in what we want to do and how we want to go about it. And very, very excited about Orange Pink out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The school, they this week has been school pride with cancer awareness, and each day's been a different cancer awareness, and with it being October, with it being breast cancer home football game, the last few years the school has sponsored a pink out to coincide with the home football game here in October.
Yep, absolutely. And it's just an awesome night. The lights are also pink, the background, all of that good stuff. But we're excited, we're honored to be able to coach in the atmosphere, representing something way bigger than ourselves and raising a cause. So we're excited about that. Each year we cannot manipulate or dictate what opponent it's going to be. We just got to prepare our guys to be ready to roll.
Right. And the other thing is you know, 2 weeks from 2 weeks ago today was the last time that the varsity has played, a game. So the last 2 weeks here of practice, and then how to get better here for the last 6 weeks starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, we went back to camp vibes, just being physical, understanding each practice got to be game like, understanding keeping that physical edge and that calloused mindset is what we got to do. We want to keep guys healthy and not at the expense of injury for the greater good, but our emphasis is we got a team that has to do it daily in order for it to translate on Friday nights and Thursday nights. So, this week, as we mentioned in our previous show, that was going to be our key emphasis. And our kids have responded well.
Yeah, and fans, I mean, usually the opening weekend or week zero, it's usually Thursday nights, to give the kids a break here with summer coming to an end and Labor Day weekend, but and then with that situation out there in Southern Chesapeake, we've had 4 games, 2 games on Thursday
Yeah.
nights.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But we adapt and adjust. That's the
Right.
biggest thing about it. We've had a schedule very similar when we had week zero games uh, prior to this upcoming season. So, we're just glad to get back to football. And it's a rivalry game, so we don't want to make it seem like we're downplaying anything. But the other part of that is all records are thrown out. In these backyard brawls. When you got rivalry football games like this, the kids know each other and they're excited to get after it. The record doesn't matter. It's about what happens in that 48 minutes Friday night. And obviously for JV, the 40 or 30 something minutes that they compete at on Thursdays.
Yes, and with knowing some Jolliffe parents, I saw that Jolliffe played Indian River last night, so I know that middle school, they're in the midst of their Wednesday night games.
Yes, they're at it. I text both ADs, wish them nothing but the best of luck. This is one of the first years under my leadership that we did not host a middle school game, last night. So both programs were away yesterday as we continue to get prepared for our JV game coming up tonight and our varsity game coming up on Friday.
Yeah, yes, and it's crazy how the season the season goes. I mean, with a bye week here after our fourth game, second district game, now when we tee it up there tomorrow night, 6 straight weeks, all all in the district, and this Friday is the fifth overall game, so kind of like the halfway point here in the 24
Yeah,
season.
for sure, absolutely. And our kids understand that, and to me, if you still think our record, we're going to continue to be our record. But when you turn the page and you get prepared for a quality opponent, you got to level up to the standard. And that's what we've been doing all week, really emphasizing that standard and that expectation. We know we can't afford any more losses. We know we can't afford any more second chances. So everything we've done has been with a sense of urgency, and we're excited how our kids responded. They're excited. We got a great locker room. We got leadership within the locker room. Our seniors are leveling up. Our juniors are understanding they are role guys now, and so we're excited about where we are. We are grateful and thankful because for every loss we learn something valuable to allow us to get where we need to be at the next step. So again, we got 6 week stretch. This is what we wait for, what, 9 months, to
Right.
get to football again. So we're here and we're excited. We understand that, bye weeks are very important. I think ours came at a good time this year, um, not playing a good brand of football, but also, dealing with a couple of nagging injuries, maybe from camp or the early starts that allowed us to heal up, and reevaluate and get ready for the next stretch. So we're excited and we're in October, Mark. So it's time to go hunt.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's to piggyback. I mean, hunting season is starting this weekend. And
Yes.
with turning the calendar there to October, I mean, it's supposed to be football weather, but
Yeah.
here during the day, it seems like summer still wants to be here.
Yeah. 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 But beautiful weather, right?
Right.
77 degrees, up to a wind gust of 12 miles per hour. To me, it feels good. We've been in the dog days of summer, so we know what hazy, hot, and humid feels like. So, but it's still good weather to get after it. It's good weather to prepare, and your Friday nights you can bring a light blanket, but you're not gonna be freezing yet. So you're right. That's tide water weather for you. So I'm excited. Love the energy of our kids. Love the atmosphere. Last year, this time, we were just getting out of the black flags,
Yeah.
how many days we could be outside in preparation for our opponent versus alternate locations. So I'm not complaining, not one bit.
Right. And and the thing is, here it is, our third home game,
Yes.
and it's gonna be at Deep Creek next Friday, but then with it being October, then at the second home game, middle of October, that means homecoming. So,
Homecoming. Yeah.
you know that the neighborhood, the clubs at the high school, the middle school, the elementary schools, they're starting to get their floats and
Yeah.
parade. So just the community here, definitely circles homecoming for Western Branch varsity football.
Absolutely, and it's magical. Seeing all the smiles, all the excitement, all the Bruin pride, even the youth teams that are within our area that are riding on floats and representing future Bruins, if you will. But yeah, Coach E and I, Coach texted me earlier. Hey man, this weekend when we do our weekend meetings, him and I, he said we need to start planning for homecoming, like this weekend. We know how hectic it could be. The quality of opponent or the opponent itself is one dynamic, but our kids get excited for that moment. Uncles, aunts, cousins, mom, and dads that have gone here, putting excitement in the atmosphere, being able to make, if not one game, this game. as a reunion or an opportunity. So we get it. You know, I tell guys, and I learned this from playing college ball. Homecoming is fun, but we're the entertainers. You know, we're the final act. So we got to prepare ourselves to be prepared and ready to be able to compete and put on a good show.
Yeah, and there's one family that listens out there, that with the school celebrating 55 years, there's actually three generations
Wow.
there of Bruins with the my friend's mom being a Bruin, then she being a Bruin, and our 30-year reunion
Yeah.
this fall, and then
Yes.
her son, a senior. So you talk about families, planning reunions, but not to be a broken record, but you just can't hide that Bruin pride there in some families.
It's in the bloodlines. It's in the veins, you know, and it is true. And for me, even before I had an opportunity to come back and lead, Western Branch has always been my number one high school. You know, regardless of who was at the leadership helm, it was just the pride that was always embedded in me. But it was the atmosphere, it was the community, it was the standard that was instilled in us as well. You know, way back in junior high, and for me, I graduated in sixth grade, and then that next year, junior high
Yeah.
became middle school. So I'm a
Right.
seventh grader with sixth graders coming, right? But all good, you know, you take it how you get it. Um, but at any rate, you know, it's just the pride is there. You know, the community is there, and even at the middle school game, seeing so many come out to support Jolliffe and West Branch Middle as they opened up head to head about 2 weeks ago. You know, it was just awesome to see the stands full and watching those guys compete and watching the supporters come out and support.
Yeah, and another way that showing my age, but you talk about how when we were growing up, seventh and eighth grade was there at the junior high there across the field there from the high school.
Right.
But yeah, that Jolliffe Western Branch. I remember going to a basketball game,
Oh yeah.
at one of the middle schools, and I had to go at the beginning of the first game because just the school pride here with both of those communities, and they feed right into Western Branch High School.
Right.
The pride and the support start there in the middle school.
Absolutely. And it may start as young as you know, the rec leagues and
Yeah,
AAU. And in today's time with so many kids playing together as they grow up, you know, that transition when they get to middle school, I'm gonna use this term for lack of better words. Some of them have chemistry, you know.
yeah.
Still they need to develop and grow, but knowing I've competed alongside or with my teammate, that makes the transition to middle and high school a lot easier. But I remember those middle school games being packed. I remember track meets being
Yeah.
packed. You know, at Deep Creek Middle School, and all the middle schools are at one location. I believe every Wednesday or Thursday of the week, and just those things that really embedded with Chesapeake Public Schools and middle and high school sports embodies. It's something that was deep rooted, you know, many years ago, and it's fun to carry that torch as a leader of a program, let alone our alma mater, and continue to strive and watch these kids compete.
Yeah, and and even next Friday, not to get ahead of ourselves, but when the team goes over to Deep Creek, one of the assistant principals at Deep Creek, Jason Walker, he there when Vince was coming through,
Right.
he was an assistant of Bruin football, but with his job leading to a promotion. He's an administrator there at Deep Creek. So even though we might not play at home, there's people connected to Western Branch or former staff members of Bruin football there throughout the city.
Yeah, they're playing it everywhere. You know, we're everywhere. and it's awesome to see. And I think deep down inside, we all pull for the schools that we represent, but it's something in our heart that is really hoping the Bruins pull it off and get it done. And that's again just what our community and our culture at West Branch High School has been. We are very humble as men and very humble as athletes, but we take pride in what we do. And I even see it in the classroom. Our teachers here hold our athletes, hold our students to a standard, um, and they want them to meet that standard, which ultimately prepares them for the next phase of future in their life. And those are some cool things that come with being a Bruin, being at Western Branch High School.
Yeah, and I'd like to lead right into a little segment of an alum. I mean, CJ Frazier, getting CAA Defensive Player of the Week, and that kid. I mean, I know that Richmond wanted him. Freshman year might not have played as many snaps, but just stuck to the routine, and here in his sophomore year, and had a great game there last week to not only be recognized by his team but recognized by the conference.
Absolutely. Very happy for him. And to me, it's like we talked last week. Sometimes we want the D1 opportunity, the big one. But yet, where God plants you or where you're seated, you could grow. And CJ has really grew at University of Richmond and love him. They know they got to steal. Like they understand that he's a next level guy. I remember you brought him up about middle school and watching his sister playing high school basketball. Big time play ability has always been Jay Frazier's genes, if you will. Very happy for him. Ended up texting him, I believe, Monday. Just telling him we were very proud of him. Obviously, being recognized as an all-state player. So his banner just came in, and, are getting that all situated and ready to honor these guys that have really set a standard for our future coming in and the current Bruins that want to strive for. So, yeah, very happy for him. Of course, he's going to get criticism for his return skills, but I don't think University of Richmond is complaining, not one bit.
Hey, and you know what? When you're from the Bruin family, it's not that everything's perfect. So we gotta give our family members a hard time with some part of the game. But and the other thing is there in the CAA. I mean, William and Mary's parents' weekend. Had Desmond on William and Mary and Priester there at Hampton. All right, so Rashad, what I was saying here, there in the Bruin alumni segment, I know that we talked about CJ, but to stay at the CAA, I mean, last weekend, Desmond, William and Mary, Hampton, Priester, and they went head to head.
Absolutely. It was fun to watch. I text Jazar before the game, just wanted to wish him best luck. Told him I had the best of both worlds.
Right.
I'm cheering for two Bruins to be successful and compete. And, it's just been fun to watch. A lot of our young men, obviously, William and Mary came out on top, so very happy where they are coming out of their last non-conference game versus Coastal Carolina. So they've been on the road. They do have a good schedule. They travel to Townsend this upcoming week. Hampton is home this week. I'm not quite sure who, but I remember looking at their schedule. And then, so it's just exciting. Shamik scored his first touchdown, a
Uh,
week ago.
cool.
First collegiate touchdown, had pretty good stats as far as rushing, as a redshirt freshman. So, really excited to see so many Bruins in the CAA, but so many Bruins across the NCAA competing all over.
Yeah, and then we got Billups at UNC and Devin at Devin at Wake, and then
Yes.
also Caleb and Lorsong there at Norfolk State. We've also brought
Yep.
up
Yep.
Mozzie there at CNU, and then of course Bruin alums that are part of Shenandoah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just uh Chappelle, Chapel is at Norfolk State as well. Jaden. So yeah, we got them everywhere. Ty Todd, Mike Bowen. We talked about Mossy extensively, and even Demetrius Perry is
Right.
a Bruin.
Yeah.
That's at Southern Virginia University. So with so many Bruins that it's awesome to see across the landscape. And not only are they doing good on the field, they're doing good in the classroom. They're
Right.
maintaining and sustaining, and that's the ultimate goal. Getting that degree, getting that education that's going to put them in a position to be successful later on in life.
Yes, because as you and I mean, I know that I didn't play, but definitely with being a fan for such a long time, you played high school,
Yep.
college. There's going to be a time, no matter what sport, that it's time to hang up the cleats and
Yep.
go do something else. And with student athlete to coach, I mean, it's definitely something that you maintain a relationship when those student athletes become adults.
Absolutely, and that's the ultimate for me. I got three boxes I want to check. And I'll use that term. Players understand that we preach it that they're on borrowed time. Coaches are also on borrowed time, in my humble opinion. And there are three boxes I want to check. Number one, did I do right by the kids that I coached up and led? Number two, did I do right by my staff? And then number three, did I do it the right way? Did I
Yeah.
really do it the right way? And to me, if I check all three of those boxes, I think the opportunity that I had to lead Western Branch High School, to be a head coach within this capacity and platform at the highest level in the state of Virginia, 6A football,
Yeah.
I'm pleased where my decision would be. And I share that publicly only because that's my standards, that's my expectations, even with my staff, making sure I treat them the right way. You could be a coach that knows everything, Mark, and no matter what, how you treat other men really is the measuring stick. It's not how many X's and O's more than it is the quality of a person you were in that opportunity and that process. And it's the same as a player. I could score 25 touchdowns and it be all about me, me, me,
Right.
and no we, but yet
Right.
when we're 25 years old and I'm talking about all my trophies, nobody really cares. They
Right.
want to talk to guys that were trophies as teammates that gave quality and motivation and empowerment to do good and be good. So I don't want to get too long-winded, but that's where I am, and I agree with you 100%. So ultimately, getting that education and getting that degree, and a lot of our kids, all of our kids, at quality university, colleges, state, and colleges. So, they're in a good space right now academically. Even we got one at Randolph Macon, Jacob Logan. We got the Bruins everywhere, and
Right.
Randolph Macon is a good academic and good athletic school. So I'm gonna
Right.
turn it back over to you, man, because I could brag on these guys and my coaching staff all show. But definitely thankful and grateful for where we are.
Right. Well, no, that's awesome, Rashad. And I know that the kids, and you and your staff, I mean, you guys work on game plans. You guys work on cohesiveness there during camp, and then it kicks off in Menchville, and then after 4 weeks, you get a bye, and I know that JV's ready to kick off tonight, and I know that the varsity Bruins are ready to get back into game routine there tomorrow night.
Correct, absolutely. So we're excited. We always celebrate Western Branch. Yes, wins are wins, losses are losses. We don't look at it any other differently. but we will always elevate and celebrate these young men that are competing. You know, they're 14 and 18-year olds that as adults, we want them to be, double their age. And mentally,
Yeah.
we want them to be mentally at that level, but they're still kids. They're still young men. But this is what the sport creates. It teaches you lifelong lessons. So we're excited about the night. I'm excited about Friday night. I'm just ready to get back on that sideline, get the headsets on, and come up with what we already put our plan in place, but collectively come together and get this thing in the right direction. And I'll share this with you again. It stayed in my heart and my spirit. Coach E and I, we talked coming out of Hickory's game, and he said, "Hey, man, good leaders, good captains know how to steer around the storm, not steer through the storm." So that's been our goal. That's been our vision and path. And our kids have really responded, and our coaching staff has as well.
Right. Well, hey, Rashad, I know that be rooting for the kids, and actually tomorrow after work, you talk about having relationships with these students when they become young adults. Elizabeth and I were heading out of town there tomorrow to to go to a wedding to a
Mm,
former cheerleader that cheered for Miss Williamson and Miss Adams, and then a former ball player that played for Roland. So
nice.
two Bruin alums. But well, hey, thanks for your time, and go Bruins there
Yes.
tomorrow night, and appreciate your weekly time to keep this consistent drumbeat.
Absolutely. I'm gonna keep it short. We finally
Yeah.
back on track.
That's right.
Thank you, Mark, as well. Man, Thursdays feel so much better right now. But
Right.
thank you as well, man. Obviously we want to keep this going, and we made adjustments for the greater good. But I thank you, man, and safe travels where you're going.
Yeah.
And wish you nothing but the best, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate you also, and have a good walkthrough, and go JV Bruins tonight. And if you want to go out support JV tonight or varsity tomorrow, just go to gofan.com. And so all right, go Bruins.
Go Bruins. All right, buddy.
All right.